Guys, I've been bullying George.
And all of a sudden, I'm over. Look at this, look at this. Logan Paul is over party, 22.3K tweets. I'm over.
And it's a party?
It is a party.
I'll be honest with you, bro. Jesus Christ fucks.
What do I do? Well, bro, how can I possibly go on with my career after this?
Can you give an example of
one that really hurt me is you told me I need a therapist because I believe in Jesus.
I honestly believe that Logan Paul should be kicked off of Impulsive.
Shut up, stop.
Literally, the only reason why he's still there is because, well, obviously it's his own podcast. But as a longtime former fan of the podcast, right up until I actually looked into the absolutely terrible past of Logan Paul,
I used to have sex with my body pillow, bro.
I still always thought George and Mike were far more interesting, engaging, and just generally provided more value to the conversation versus Logan, who, to be honest, can be insufferable at times.
I'm smart.
You're
I'm
a genius.
objectively smart.
Find a dead person in the suicide forest hanging.
And Logan's ability to even pretend to be semi-likable has gone completely out the window in their most recent podcast episode, where he just cries in this unhinged rant about why Christianity is so bad and so dangerous to society, why he's so much smarter than everyone else, and is just an asshole to his own alleged best friend on video.
I know people that hate me, that treat me better about my faith than you, and you're my best friend.
And he's been getting a lot of backlash for both this podcast, and he just got called out in a new video series by CoffeeZilla on one of the many crypto scams that he's pulled off on his own fans in the past. So let's take a look where Logan Paul went wrong here, and why he is living proof that not everybody deserves a second chance.
So without further ado, Logan, let's do it!
Because I'll be honest with you, bro. Jesus Christ fucks.
Bruh.
Oh, God, bro.
And people don't think that about him. That guy is fucking dope.
Okay, so we're off to a great start here, guys, openly joking about the sexuality of one of the most important and influential humans to ever walk the earth. Just fantastic. And keep in mind, I'm not religious at all. It's just that I can put my foot down when somebody does or says something that's just not okay. And we have to ask ourselves, why in the world is this socially acceptable? Why is it not okay to mock being Jewish or Muslim, but Christianity, you can just say whatever you want publicly? I guarantee 110% that if George was Jewish, Logan would sit there in silence like the little rat that he really is. Logan would never in a million years mock Muhammad on video exactly like he just mocked Jesus. That is not fair. Religion is something that at the very least helps a majority of the people that follow it, regardless of which religion that is. If that weren't true, none of these religions would even be the slightest bit relevant. And as a basic rule of society, I think we can all agree that the religion that people choose to follow, specifically friends, is not something that we should mock or put people down for. At least, not when it's broadcasted to a bunch of 13-year-olds. However, Logan decides to do exactly that, and it all goes downhill from here.
People have a very intimate relationship. People feel that they've been saved, that their lives have been saved by their gods, by whoever they choose to call their higher power. So you're even just questioning that, especially in the way that you do, which is never very skillful or graceful in any way, is harmful and is destructive.
I disagree. I don't think that we have to condemn homosexuality. I don't think that we have to condemn sex before marriage. Or a slew.
So don't condemn it. I don't
know if I can. I just don't know if I can get behind. Like, that's silly to me. That seems silly to me. So I think it's a silly practice to engage in, and I think it deserves satire.
Retarded person are not stupid. They're just retarded.
Like, come on.
Yeah, but that's not.
Subscribe to a doctrine that slams homosexuality. Come on, bro. That's ridiculous.
So we start that clip off with Logan literally on his phone checking his Snapchats or whatever while on a podcast, and as soon as he opens up his mouth, he has the audacity to spew out,
I disagree.
Bro, you weren't even listening. Then he goes on to say that Christianity is silly while sitting next to a Christian. If you feel that way, fine, I can't stop anyone from thinking that. But why does your opinion on someone else's religion that they practice even need to be expressed? It's not Logan following that set of rules. If I'm with a Christian person and I personally disagree with one or two things in the Bible, I'm not going to hyper-focus on those one or two things. Maybe instead, we could talk about the hundreds of potential positives that religion actually brings out in that person. Or even better, just not debate religion in general. I mean, realistically, what could be accomplished here? Is George now going to become an atheist because Logan Paul, by far the least ethical influencer of all time,
Elon Gate made me rich. Elon Gate, baby, let's go. Elon Gate token. Oh my God!
thinks that hypothetically all Christians condemn homosexuality and sex before marriage? If anything, this conversation should be had in private, assuming he actually had anything of substance to say. Instead, he just claims that something that billions of people across the world follow is silly because he personally disagrees with two things, which is just ridiculous, and it only continues to get worse and worse.
What do you think I believe in, George? Because it sounds like you have a misconception about what you think I believe.
This is a shit coin I believe in. It's my favorite one, to be honest. Bitcoin is so much more than a meme coin. It's a multimedia coin.
Buddy, you cannot tell me about misconception and you keep misquoting the Bible and you keep putting me into a box that I'm not in. You keep bringing up that I bash gay people all the time. When have I ever done that?
Bro, that is a staple of your religion, and it's not bashing gay people; it's condemning them.
But have
for what
you,
they
as,
like.
for
That's
as George
fucking
Janko, as
ridiculous.
your best friend, have you ever seen me to any straight man or gay man or any type of person ever have I ever shown any hatred ever?
No, but you're in the same boat with a large group of people that do.
Logan just continues playing on this moral high ground where he thinks Christians condemn homosexuality, and apparently that's just a line that can never be crossed. But keep in mind, this is the same guy who looks at his own followers as cattle. This guy used his own fans to make millions of dollars across numerous crypto pump and dumps and NFT rug pulls.
How much did you guys make from CryptoZoo?
I lost around $50,000 in CryptoZoo.
I lost $40,000.
I lost around 15,000 US dollars.
I lost $25,000.
$120,000.
$500,000 Australian, which is $500,000 in CryptoZoo.
Tens of thousands of families across the world ruined as a result of this multi-millionaire and literal potential billionaire unnecessarily financially graping them, yet condemning homosexuality is just a line that cannot be crossed. Although they're both bad, I would argue that consensually scamming your own fans as an individual who is in full control of your actions is 100% worse than having an opinion on homosexuality. Same-sex marriage is 100% legal in the US. People have the right to do what they want. Christian people's thoughts on homosexuality do not change the actions that people can take. Grindr is not illegal because Christianity exists. Yet, out of the $5 million plus that I would conservatively estimate that Logan Paul stole from his fans, no one is ever going to see that money again. So George might be sitting in the same boat with some hateful people, sure, but Logan verifiably hates his own fans so much that he's willing to go out of his way to make their lives worse. There are children out there that skipped meals as a result of their parents getting rug pulled by Logan Paul. There are homeless people out there living on the streets as a result of Logan Paul's rug pulls. That is a fact. But a number of Christians who condemn homosexuality in private, because we all know you can't do that publicly in today's world, that is where Logan draws the line. And just to add salt to the wound, in this exact same podcast, he actually makes a joke insinuating that Andrew Tate is homosexual and uses that as an insult.
I think they're fucking. I think they're fucking.
But no, let me say this, bro. I told Aiden before he went out there, I said, yo, you tell Tate.
That I want to fuck you.
No.
How is that an insult? I thought condemning homosexuality was bad, Logan.
But you bashing me in front of a group of people for my beliefs is not right. And you're an atheist, and I'm looking at you like you're wrong.
No, I'm not an atheist.
Well, regardless of where you're coming from,
what do you describe yourself as?
I guess
I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be honest.
Agnostic. I think I would be agnostic. Like I do identify with a higher being, a spiritual power, what you would call God.
Wait, no, wait.
What any religion would call God, the universe.
It's always you think black people.
What a fucking liar, dude. What a fucking Weasley little liar, dude.
That is a lie. Logan Paul does not believe in God. Normally, I would never assume this about anyone. Obviously, I don't know Logan, but I can confidently say that he does not believe in God. It's just not true, and it's never been true. If Logan believed in God, he would not record a dead person for YouTube clickbait and internet clout at the age of 22.
Hey, film me. Hey, all right, film me so I can have this reaction.
I really hate to say this. I think there's someone hanging right there.
He was a fully grown man back then. If Logan believed in God, he wouldn't scam tens of thousands of his own fans. He wouldn't tase dead rats. He wouldn't tweet something promoting eating Tide Pods to a bunch of children immediately after being canceled, because doing things like this send you to a certain place in the afterlife, and that's not a very pretty place, I'll say that. A God-fearing man would never in a million years do these things, and that is not debatable.
If we pick on each other and other things, it's totally fine. Like you suck at comedy. I get that. Everybody knows that. All that stuff. But when it comes to religion, you have to tiptoe.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Well, I do.
Yes, you do. Who the actual f are you to disrespect someone's religious beliefs? Again, why is your input even necessary in this context? Because you twerked to a violin and threw pokeballs at Japanese people in the middle of the street?
Toyota, I choose you. No, no, no. Ah! Gotcha, bitch.
For years, entertaining 10-year-old boys, you automatically get to say things as disrespectful as humanly possible to whoever you want?
And by the way, you brought up like Muslims and Jews. Dude, I sit at synagogues and talk to rabbis all the time and pick their brains. I sit with Muslim people. They're most peaceful people. We went to Saudi Arabia.
Right? I want you to say it right now.
Who's right?
Whose God is real?
My God is real in my eyes.
Not Allah.
I don't believe that Allah is real in my eyes.
A lot of Muslims would disagree with you.
But does that mean I have to disrespect their beliefs? No, absolutely not.
Look at this little weasel. He tries to make the conversation about Islam versus Christianity when it just doesn't have to be this way in a civil discussion between alleged best friends. The guy is just filth. He intentionally brings up Islam as nothing but a tool to cause division. Logan Paul is not a dumb person. He knows exactly what he's doing when he's saying these types of things. It's not about one God versus the others in this context. If someone chooses to believe in one over the other, what in the world difference does that make to you? I don't ask my Christian friends their thoughts on Allah because frankly, nobody cares about their opinion on that. End of story. If this was Muhammad Hijab and Young Don having a conversation, I totally get the Islam versus Christianity debate. But in this case, he is just intentionally trying to pit the two religions against each other on video.
So who's right? I want you to say it right now.
That is nothing but weasel behavior.
What do I need a therapist for then?
Jesus isn't doing it for you. And I
what do I need a therapist for?
I don't believe you're as emotionally mature as you could be.
Then what do I need Jesus for? I mean, what do I need a therapist for?
To get you to level up.
In what?
Yourself.
In what category? So when you think George needs a therapist, what category am I falling under?
Emotional intelligence.
Emotional, me.
Yes.
I'm not emotionally intelligent. Could you pick a time and frame any day of our life?
Here's one. 3 weeks ago when you were sitting in that chair, you stormed off this exact podcast because you were upset about something a comedian said.
It's actually crazy because the person in this context completely lacking emotional intelligence here is just Logan. He criticizes George for storming off the podcast, yet completely fails to acknowledge the fact that that podcast that George just happened to storm off of is actually their most viewed podcast out of their last 9 that they've posted, even getting more views with Bobby Lee than they did with Jake Paul, fresh off of beating Anderson Silva in a boxing match, who's 10 times more famous than Bobby Lee. I wonder why that is. Oh, and by the way, that Bobby Lee podcast has 3 different ad reads in the first 20 minutes, proving yet again that Logan Paul is a greedy piece of garbage who factually profited heavily off of George's storming off the podcast, and that he doesn't care at all about his viewers. Also, imagine claiming that your own friend has low emotional intelligence while openly insulting his alleged best friend's personal religious beliefs for more than 25 minutes on video.
I'm smart.
That is insanely hypocritical.
While I definitely agree with you,
we've talked about
and you
this
are right, and my delivery is something very harsh.
Yes.
Treat others how you want to be treated, right? The golden
but
rule.
nobody wants to.
I don't want to be babied, bro.
Wait,
I don't want to be babied
like
and
no, but some people aren't.
I don't like it because it turns out it's not true. Everyone wants to be coddled into the truth. Everyone wants to be handheld and walked up the mountain with a buddy instead of climbing it themselves.
But what about what you want?
I don't fuck with that.
Think about this. Logan Paul does not want to be babied. does not want to be coddled, but not even one time over the past year and a half has he ever addressed one of his crypto scams that he's pulled off on his own fans. Not a single guest has ever brought one of these things up. That is not a coincidence, it is 100% intentional. Whether that be CryptoZoo, Dink Doink, Ethereum Max, Liquid Marketplace, Elongate, Fuck Elon Coin, and of course 99 Originals, where he actually blocked the word CryptoZoo from their official Discord server. He also blocked CoffeeZilla on Twitter. So tough guy Logan, who allegedly just wants to hear the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, doesn't want to be coddled. He just wants to curate and censor the conversation before it even happens to ensure that he doesn't get called out for the literal crimes that he has committed. If you don't want to be coddled and babied, have CoffeeZilla on the show. Simple as that. I would actually bet money that Logan makes sure that his guests either 1, don't know about his crypto scams, or 2, don't bring up his crypto scams. This is unfortunately nothing but another case of brain-damaged Logan just talking out of his ass.
You see these holes.
Oh no. Parts of my brain are missing.
Well, but this is it's not missing, but it's hurt. And this is really important because right here is the most human, thoughtful part of us.
So in conclusion, Logan Paul is the only man on earth I would wish this hairline upon. And one thing I will say is that it should not take a CoffeeZilla video for people to talk about his crypto scams. All of that information has been publicly available for more than a year now. I made a video on all of them more than 2 months ago, and the crypto scams are much deeper than just CryptoZoo. That is just the tip of the iceberg. And if you still support Logan Paul after this, you are the problem. I'm no cancel culture warrior, but I personally will never support someone who treats their audience like cattle. And out of the 30 plus videos I've ever made on many different people, in my opinion, nobody deserves to get canceled more than Logan Paul, and it's not even close, because not only did the guy previously get canceled, but he also went out of his way to use his platform of more than 10 million followers to promote the idea of canceling someone else.
I would even put a little call out here to like fellow creators and even JJ, like, you want to re-platform this guy? Anyone? You want to have him on your shows. You want to give him another opportunity to speak and spread his agenda.
Which is just disgusting, coming from someone who's personally had their career ruined by cancel culture, then bounced back from it just to try and cancel other people.
I've made a severe and continuous lapse in my judgment, and I don't expect to be forgiven.
That, combined with the crypto scams and mocking his best friend's religion, is in my opinion far worse than anything even EDP445 has ever done.
Well, I was actually coming out here to pick up a cupcake and then go back home.
And at the end of the day, if you want to sit here and lie to yourself that Logan is a changed man, you clearly just do not want to believe the truth. No self-respecting person would support a scamming, lying, multi-millionaire con artist and Jesus-hating individual like Logan Paul. But that's just what I think. I'd love to know what you guys think in the comment section down below. If you liked the video, like it. If you disliked it, dislike it. Other than that, I just have one last message for Logan and his audience of 13-year-olds.
Did your mom have sex with her brother to have you, or was it your cousin or something? Because you're the most inbred piece of shit I've ever seen in my life. So who fucked who? Did your mom fuck her brother or your sister's brother or somebody?